Now, the main two differences between venomous snakes and feminists is that venomous snakes are beautiful, and they leave you alone unless you bother them, unlike the school moms of the social justice left who want to tell us all how to think, what to say, what books we're allowed to read, and all manner of other things. And also whether it's okay to laugh at how crap Aboriginal art is. Because newsflash, it really is shit. I don't want to be mean. I'm a nice person. But the Western Europeans who colonised Australia brought with them a cultural heritage that spanned St. Peter's Basilica and Wagner's Der Ring des Nibelungen, from the architectural wonders of ancient Greece. Now, Australians, in this sort of bizarre form of middle-class guilt, have decided to pay obeisance to a culture that failed to invent the wheel. And whose signature...
Whoa. I've said that for 40 years.
And whose signature musical achievement is a big stick. The ugly truth that they don't want you to say out loud is that history has winners and losers. The progressive left wants to turn Western countries into the only developed civilizations in the history of human society that shit on their own accomplishments in favor of vastly inferior civilizations for no apparent reason. And the desperate, pathetic attempts to pretend that didgeridoos represent a beautiful and historic cultural achievement and not a punchline to a joke. Now, you might not know this, but there are actually no Aboriginal people left alive in Australia. The last ones died in the 60s and 70s, and since then, George Soros has been shipping over Black Lives Matter activists, giving them tubs of whiteout and telling them to just daub themselves and make all the white people feel bad. Your politicians, in a symbol of how intelligent they are, have been falling for it for half a century. I say this not to be mean. It's not in my nature to be cruel. But to remind you that the West is the best. We all instinctively know this. We know that the things that make our civilizations, our countries, wonderful. Capitalism, property rights, democracy, the rule of law, and freedom of speech make our nations the nicest place to live in the world. And if you have the misfortune of being born a woman... Just kidding, ladies. The misfortune to be born gay, the great advantage of being born black. Where would you want to live? But in Western democracies. And this is not about skin colour. It's about values. It's about our ideas. Because our ideas are the best ideas. The left wants you to believe that Western supremacy, Western chauvinism, is wrapped up in racism, and that somehow believing in values, the values that have made our civilization great, is equivalent to being a white nationalist. It isn't. They want you bent double, hunched over in shamefaced servitude about the achievements of your ancestors, because they've invented a galaxy of victimhood classes designed to undermine freedom, capitalism, and democracy, and to privilege invented hurt feelings over facts, reason, and logic. Now, since I brought up the didgeridoo, let me invoke a second annoying and repetitive foghorn by the name of Walid Ali. Exactly. Now, are you familiar with this cowardly half-wit? It sounds like you are. Walid is presented to Australians as a model of politically correct maturity, modernity, and tolerance. But he's an idiot and a coward. He won't have me on his show, you know. No Milo appearance on The Project. He won't debate me. He won't even do one of those mean-spirited, disingenuous, heavily edited, non-live interviews that he likes to do with conservatives to try to make us all look stupid. Perhaps because he knows that no matter how many banks of editing computers purchase, it is impossible to make me look stupid. This is Walid and his lovely wife, his liberated, emancipated wife, who is... Excuse me, don't be rude. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, she's not emancipated and liberated. You're thinking, she's a victim of brainwashing by a vicious death cult that oppresses women and murders homosexuals. Oh, stop it. She is wearing the hijab because she chooses to, sister. And it's got nothing to do with the fact that her uncle Bilal will splash her face with sulfuric acid if she doesn't. It will be a very bad look on the red carpet at the Logies.